ourselves that legislation needs to be evidence-based. It needs to be based in reality. That's it, yes. But this isn't just about complaining to our leaders. It's also about holding the scientific community itself accountable to be more diverse and inclusive. And we are also to be held to a high standard. I'm not a scientist. We have a great program of speakers that we're about to see. Some of them are scientists, but a bunch of them are not scientists. We have a pastor, we have a lawyer, we have a couple doctors, we have some teen activists for the environment. And this is why, I mean, you know this is happening all over. Today there are marches in Washington, D.C., and in, I don't know, 100 cities in the United States, and a bunch across the entire globe. We're all uniting and doing this together, and not just scientists. I'm not a scientist, but I've always liked to say, art is not just for artists, music is not just for musicians, and science is not just for scientists. So here at the Raleigh March, we've had our own theme that we've added, which is science for everyone, everyone for science. So we hope, we did our best in a program that can only present a certain number of speakers without being an all-day marathon. We've done our best to try to represent a lot of different topics, a lot of different issues, and a lot of different communities. So we hope, we're just glad you're all out here to help us support. So I do want to do a little housekeeping right now. I want to tell you that you can vote. It has a table over there where you can register to vote if you're not registered at your current address. So please do. There's also a first aid table over there. And over around the corner there are some porta potties. So those are some of the really important announcements. Also, how about a hand for our the Kids March for Science, which featured the fabulous paper hand puppet intervention, and yes, and the Oakwood Second Line Band. Throughout the rest of the day, there are fun hands-on science activities going on over there. So be sure to check those out if you decide to stray away from the program. But like I said, we have a great slate of speakers, but we also have some people that we wanted to call out in the audience. So we have some of our local leaders, which I want to call attention to. I'd like to ask them to stand up and come to the front of the stage. Yeah, sure, come on. No. Okay, why don't you come on right here by our sign? So I want to mention we have Wake County Commissioner Sig Hutchinson and Matt Calabria and Herb Portman, and we have Nicole Stewart, we have Steph Mandel and Christine Kelly, we have Satish Garamella, I think I was going to get that, Steve Rao, Jay Chaudhary, Jess Anderson, Cynthia Ball, Audra Killingsworth, Brett Garrett, and David Price. We want to really thank them for taking the time to come out in support of science. This is what we want to see. So, it's hard to avoid saying that this isn't a political issue. It is a political issue, but it's not a partisan issue. So all of our leaders should be in support of science. So we're so glad that you've come out. Thank you very much. How about another round of applause? Yeah. All right, so thank you very much for that. Let me introduce myself. I am Brian Mallow, and I'm not a scientist, although I play one in the broken dreams of my parents. Thank you. I'm a comedian, and I'm a science comedian. Even though I didn't become a scientist, I turned to the subject of science because Well, first of all, it's not even limiting. Science is a part of everything. And like I said, it's for everyone. And it's just cool. I'm just attracted to it because from the time I was a kid, I loved science fiction. And especially people like Isaac Asimov, who wrote science fiction that was well grounded in science. And then I discovered he wrote nonfiction. And the nonfiction he wrote, the science writing, was just as interesting and exciting, maybe more so because it wasn't fiction. It's real. So it almost seems absurd that we have to come out here and march for science. It's almost like having to have a march for breathing. You know, like, why do we have to march for science? But the truth is we do. Sometimes science is under attack. I'm going to have certain things to say throughout the program as we introduce our different speakers and topics. So for right now, all I really want to say is I hope you're out here to have a really good time. And register to vote. If you want to support us, you're supporting us just by being here. But if you want to help support this event, everything was put on by volunteers. We're selling t-shirts. There's a table over there with t-shirts and buttons. And there's kids buttons, and there's adult buttons, whatever that means. But you can help support us. We also have a GoFundMe page. And if you look for Raleigh March for Science, easy to find. Or you can find it through our Facebook event page or RaleighMarchForScience.com. So the GoFundMe page is one way. Any little bit helps. Buying a t-shirt or a button helps. So I want to leave you with, are you feeling really pressured? Like,